Hey folks, welcome back to SC Haulers. I am Sacks of Wine, and today we are going over the Esperia Prowler Utility and how viable is it as a cargo ship. On the Star Citizen website, this is advertised as a medium freighter, but in the inside the or behind the ships episode that Star Citizen came out with, or CIG came out with, it was very much so regarded as a stealth cargo ship. So I want to see really what the capabilities are. And I'm very skeptical just right off the bat, because even if you wanted to steal cargo from somebody else's ship, you need to be in their party or soft death their ship, which the Prowler is not going to be able to do to larger size ships unless the pilot is just absolutely terrible. Like, a Prowler in general is not going to be able to take out a C2. But that being said, let's go ahead and get into this video. We're going to start with the paints that are now available for the Prowler Utility, and we'll go from there after that. Okay, so let's get into the internals of the ship. So the entry to the ship is on the front port side. There is a door on the starboard side or the right side, but it does not work, and you will see why once we get into the ship. So as we get into the ship, you can see that the other door is blocked. You have your ladder going up to the pilot seat. You have this one SCU cargo spot that's right here, and you have these drop seats as well as a co-pilot seat. So this is your initial area that you walk into. Yes, the drop seats actually work. This is your cargo bay. There are buttons on the left and right hand side that will open the cargo bay for you internally. There's also buttons to open and close the cargo at the very end. It does not look like, and I'm not a Prowler flyer, but it does not look like there is not a button to open the rear ramp. Okay, so we're upstairs. We're gonna take a look in here. This is our components room. You see we got 2 shields there, our quantum drive, power plant. I feel like we're missing stuff. Okay, so the fuses don't work properly in the... Oh, there's our cooler. There's another cooler. There's 2 shields. Okay. So 2 coolers a power plant, quantum drive, 4 shields. I feel like they really could have consolidated that a lot better. But that's pretty much it. That's the ship. We're gonna go get into some combat and see what this thing is capable of, and we will get right back at you. Look at that, is so cool. I love this ship. Before we get into combat, sorry. I love the design of this ship. The art team did a great job. And oh my gosh, that is so cool. It's just so cool. I do love the face hugger aspect of the cargo grid. Great job, design team. Like, just really fleshing out how this ship functions. I just wish it had a purpose. So I wanted to test the co-pilot seat and see what its capabilities were. You can fly. You can fly in the co-pilot seat. The issue is you can't quantum. You cannot quantum while you're in the co-pilot seat. And I don't know if this is a bug, because like in the Polaris, you have full control of the ship if you're in the co-pilot seat and there's no pilot, right? So you can quantum, you can select nav markers, like all sorts of stuff. You can't do that in the Prowler Utility. So I don't know if that was an oversight or what. Maybe they just don't want the Prowler Utility co-pilot to have that capability. But now that I'm in the pilot seat, it's working perfectly fine. And this is interesting too, because I switched to nav mode while I was in the co-pilot seat, but I got into the pilot seat and it was still in SCM mode. So I don't know if that's bugged or what, but I hope they fix it. So the next thing we're going into, I took this thing out to one of the OLPs, and there are headhunter hauling missions that are out there. You basically go pick up like a very small amount of cargo at an OLP, then you take it to Grimhex, and then you get headhunter hauling mission rep. That being said, the reason I picked the OLP is because you have two things. One, if nobody's been there for a while, then you will have a missed prospector army just flying outside of the base. And two, you have ground troops. And so you get to test both capabilities, see what it is good at and what it is not good at. And I will say, I was very surprised, and I'm curious if this is because of the shield changes that they made in 4.2. But this has 4 size 2 shields, and it actually feels very, very beefy for the onslaught of missed prospectors that were shooting at it. I did this same test with the Anvil Valkyrie previously, and it did not have that much success. That being said, the prospectors are also kind of beefy for being a small ship, and this thing just did not do very well taking out these targets, like sub-targeting engines, just chassis damage in general. It took down the shield super quick, but when it came to actual ship damage, it did not do very much, and that kind of surprised me because it's got 2 size 4s and the 2 size 3 remote turrets, but it just doesn't seem very combat capable. Now when it comes to ground troops, this ship is not very good at this, which is surprising because my understanding, and I could be wrong, I don't fly the regular Prowler, but the regular Prowler is a dropship, and it doesn't have a turret that can take out ground troops. So the Starlancer attack, the Anvil Valkyrie, the Asgard even, they all have like side turrets or any side turrets of some sort, or under turrets that give you the capability to take out ground troops. Now I know the Prowler Utility is not a design dropship, right? But if you're going in and trying to get a piece of cargo that's on the ground, being able to eliminate ground troops is going to be essential. And I bring that up, and this is because of my last point, which is going to be stealth cargo is not a thing. This ship has a 10.4 cross section, which is larger than the regular Prowler, which is just shocking to me. You can get the EM and IR down fairly low, so you may not get missile locked as easily, but I mean, any good player or any good pilot is going to be able to see you from miles and miles away. So what is this ship good for? This ship is going to be good for scavenging parts or scavenging other ships right now until stealth is redone for whatever reason, which it does need a rework, and a lot of things need a rework and are getting reworked. But your best case use for the Prowler utility is if you're going from planet to planet to hotspot and just taking parts off of a ship and then putting it on your cargo grid. And I say that with the new Lazarus activity that is coming up, there are going to be plenty of dead ships just hanging out at the tram stations. You can pull up in your Prowler utility. Any open ships that are available, just tractor beam out parts that you can see and then just get out of there. So my final thoughts on the Prowler utility is it is a really nicely designed ship and it's beautiful. I love it. And unfortunately, it just feels like it's a trophy that's just going to sit in my hangar and do nothing until there is an actual... There are some things that need to be fixed. One, there needs to be gameplay for lower level cargo hauling. Like period dot. Salty Mike said it the best. If you don't have a ship that has 100 SCU of cargo or more, it's going to be worthless very, very quickly. This is going to change as we get closer and closer to 1.0. But as of right now, anything smaller than 100 SCU of cargo is worthless. The second thing that needs to be fixed, if I scavenge parts off of a downed player ship, my parts need to stop disappearing from patch to patch. And I know people have said it's a dupe thing. I think it might be like early implementation of what they want to do in regards to like bricking components when someone claims their ships. But who knows? Who knows? That being said, if you fix those two things, I feel like the Prowler has a place and it'll have a purpose after the new flight mode is implemented. But that being said, if you like the video, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you want to see more content of mine. If you want to know when it becomes available, hit that notification bell. I am Sax of Wine. This is SC Haulers. I love you. Bye.